riding around with my window down, screaming fuck the world cause I'm right. A lot of people, so many people wanna see me fall from these heights. Pray to God that I'm way up high when them killers come for my life. You could hate me, never fucking break me, I'll be number one before I die. Everybody dies, I don't even really know why. All I know is still gon' grind, every minute going by is a race against time. Trying to make it with these lines, cause my mom's in her 60s, working overtime, won't even lie, that shit's killing me inside.
Oh yeah, this recap totally reminds me about that episode in which Mando and Breaking Bad did the thing with the stuff and alerted the people that the whatchamacallit was happening, and so the dude went to the place for that period of time.
Discount Jeremy hates previously on segments cliche.
27 seconds of logos for a TV show.
And Discount Jeremy hates logos cliche.
Inmate 34667, please follow Marshal Dune to transport.
Somebody gonna tell me what's going on here?
Well, that was easy. Is this seriously all it takes to spring a prisoner? Seemed like Mando was setting us up for a fucking heist when he asked Kara this last episode. And he didn't even know she was a marshal before he got there. So what was he gonna do if she didn't have any official Republic authority?
The show told us that Kara is in a pretty high position in the New Republic, so that's why it was so easy to get Mayfeld out of prison. And second, you basically just asked a completely pointless question. What would Mando have done if she didn't have authority? First, that's stupid because it didn't happen, so it doesn't matter. And second, the answer is pretty obvious. He would have just broken Mayfeld out.
Well, I get that Mayfeld is a cautious guy, but he's also been in prison with, I'm assuming, only men. And someone who looks like Gina Carano just showed up wanting him to follow her. Does Star Wars not understand how boners work?
First, Discount Jeremy says boner. And second, Discount Jeremy is super down bad if he'd immediately follow any woman out of prison without questioning it.
Inmate 34667.
I swear to God they refer to Miggs by his inmate number so many times in the beginning of this episode. It's like they're trying to force me to memorize a phone number. And no one remembers phone numbers anymore.
Well, this is a non-sin. What are they even trying to criticize here? Phone numbers? Or the show repeating Mayfeld's number? Cause if it's the first option, then it's stupid because it has nothing to do with this episode. And if it's the second option, then it's stupid because it's a fucking robot that's repeating the number.
So how'd he replace the rocket on his back? He used that sucker to blow up the stormtroopers in the last episode, so it should be disintegrated.
He could have just replaced it. Seriously, are you asking how a bounty hunter, and one of the best for that matter, was able to replace his jetpack missile? It probably would be super easy for him, to be honest.
Alright, but here's the thing. I can't get those coordinates unless I have access to an internal Imperial terminal.
Look, I know he's trying to dial the accent back a bit, but Bill Burr is a masshole, and it's really odd that there's an obvious masshole a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
But you don't have an issue with Obi-Wan's accent, or any of the clones in the Clone Wars, or anybody else in this entire series who has an accent from Earth. Seriously, this sin is incredibly stupid because these characters are all played by people from Earth, seeing as the Star Wars universe doesn't fucking exist.
Fett. Punch in the coordinates to Morak.
Fett? Fett? Who the hell calls him Fett? Is his whole name too hard to say? Are they not on a first-name basis after he pledged his fealty to Mando for this quest?
Pointless nitpicking is pointless.
It's gonna be me going in alone. Or say goodbye to your little green friend.
Wait, how does he know what I call my vibrator?
Discount Jeremy makes a cringy sexual joke cliche.
Moff Gideon's had Grogu for at least a few days now. Even if it takes a while to get where he's going, they must have extracted enough blood or stool or whatever the hell they need from him along the way to do their evil. I'm just saying, Mando should have been moving much faster from the jump if he thinks he's actually going to rescue the kid.
Not necessarily. Moff Gideon spent a lot of resources and dedication on Baby Yoda. Sorry, I'm not going to call him Grogu. Which means that he wants him alive. Mando knows this, and therefore knows that Moff Gideon would not want to kill off the very precious resource that is Baby Yoda.
I'm taking this thing off. I can't see anything.
First off, if Miggs can't see anything, how does anyone see anything out of one of those helmets?
Long and intense training. Seriously, the stormtroopers probably just get used to them over time, seeing as their training is long and rigorous.
Don't worry about the Rhydonium. As long as you drive steady, you'll get us to the refinery.
How the heck does Mando know that?
What do you mean, how does he know that? All he said was that if they drove steady, then they would get the Rhydonium to the base without incident. That's not rocket science. It's a very basic understanding of how Rhydonium works, which they literally just discussed in one of the previous scenes.
Oh yeah, that's definitely necessary. There's no way these assholes can see this giant transport coming their way.
And why do truck drivers bother to honk their horns if there are people or cars or other obstacles in the street? It's because not everyone sees them, because not everyone is paying attention.
Hey, those are villagers on this planet. human even. Yet Mando confidently explained there was nothing on this planet a few minutes ago, despite it being habitable and honestly quite pleasant.
Okay, but maybe Mando just didn't know that. I mean, this village is very small and not super advanced or rich from the looks of it, so it's entirely plausible that Mando just didn't know.
The hell's that?
If that monitor was right in Mando's line of sight this whole time, how did he not see the pirates until they already jumped on the ship?
Maybe because he wasn't paying attention to it. You don't tend to notice things until you notice them, you know what I mean? Not everyone has spidey sense.
This is the third round of not pirates that Mando will have to fend off. We know Mando isn't going to blow up or die here, which is to say, this battle goes on for all the some time.
Discount Jeremy hates action scenes cliche.
Facial scan complete.
What? Why would Mando's facial scan grant him access to classified Imperial data?
Although it's not explained in this episode, there are a couple of possibilities for why the facial scanner works on Mando. One is that the scanner's purpose is only to monitor who has used it in the past, not keep people out. Another is that the scanner is simply a shoddy piece of tech that the Empire cheaped out on. However, my personal favorite explanation is that the facial scanner here is basically just a Star Wars reCAPTCHA. Essentially, its purpose is to make sure that the user is an organic life form as opposed to a droid.
You're the tank troopers that delivered the shipment of Redonium.
How does this dude know that the shipment was delivered? He's been sitting here with his buddy drinking in the mess hall, and they just got here before walking straight into the room.
Maybe someone told him? Seriously, why is it so unbelievable that someone could have informed him about the transport?
How about a toast to Operation Cinder?
Miggs was scared to death just a few seconds ago about this dude recognizing him, but now that he knows he's not going to be recognized, his balls drop and he decides to provoke this dillhole instead of having his drink and getting the crap out of there.
It's called being emotional, DJ. This scene is actually some really great character development for Mayfeld.
The ones who died? Was it good for them?
I have to say, this scene really makes as much sense as Star-Lord punching Thanos in the face in Infinity War, which is to say it makes no sense.
Okay, the scene in Infinity War did make sense, because, as I just explained for this scene, it was showing Star-Lord letting his emotions get the best of him, which is a human characteristic that deepens his personality for the viewer. The same goes with this scene.
I never saw your face.
Miggs, and therefore the show, has time for this.
Time for a 10-second exchange? Yeah, I would hope so.